100 Weird Facts. Nature and Animals. 1. Wombat poop is cube-shaped. Wombats have specialized digestive systems that compress their feces into cubes, which prevents them from rolling away when used as territorial markers. 2. Mantis shrimp can punch with the force of a bullet. Their specialized limbs accelerate at 102,000 meters per square second, creating cavitation bubbles that can stun prey even if the punch misses. 3. Barnacles have the longest penis-to-body ratio of any animal. The barnacle's penis can be up to 8 times its body length, allowing it to reproduce despite being permanently attached to one spot. 4. Flamingos can only eat with their heads upside down. Their specialized beaks work as filters when inverted, allowing them to separate food from mud and water. 5. Koalas have fingerprints nearly identical to humans. They evolved independently, but are so similar that they have confused crime scene investigators. 6. Octopuses have 3 hearts. 2 pump blood through the gills, while the third circulates it through the rest of the body. 7. A group of ravens is called an unkindness, or conspiracy. These unusual collective nouns reflect ravens' historical association with death and mystery. 8. Honey never spoils. Archaeologists have found 3,000-year-old honey in Egyptian tombs that is still edible due to its natural antibacterial properties. 9. The world's oldest living tree is over 5,000 years old. The Great Basin bristlecone pine, named Methuselah in California, has been growing since before the pyramids were built. 10. Platypuses don't have stomachs. They lack the separate digestive organ entirely, with the esophagus connecting directly to the intestines. Human body. 11. Your body has enough iron to make a 3-inch nail. The average human contains about 4 grams of iron, primarily in hemoglobin. 12. Human teeth are as strong as shark teeth. The enamel coating on human teeth ranks at 5 on the most hardness scale, similar to many shark species. 13. The average person produces enough saliva in their lifetime to fill 2 swimming pools. Humans typically produce 1 to 2 liters of saliva daily. 14. Your nose can remember 50,000 different scents. The human olfactory system has specialized neurons that can distinguish between countless odor molecules. 15. Babies are born with approximately 300 bones. They fuse together as we grow, resulting in 206 bones in the average adult. 16. The acid in your stomach is strong enough to dissolve metal. Gastric acid has a pH between 1 and 3, capable of corroding many metals. 17. Your ears never stop growing. Cartilage continues to grow throughout your life, making ears and noses appear larger in elderly people. 18. There are more bacteria in your mouth than there are people on Earth. The average human mouth contains 6 billion bacteria, representing up to 700 different species. 19. Your brain generates enough electricity to power a small light bulb. The brain's roughly 100 billion neurons generate about 12 to 25 watts of electricity. 20. Humans are bioluminescent. We actually emit very faint light, but it's about 1,000 times too weak for the naked eye to detect. History. 21. Ancient Egyptians used crocodile dung as contraception. The acidic properties of crocodile feces were believed to act as a spermicide when inserted vaginally. 22. In Victorian England, it was possible to send children through the mail. Until 1913 in the United States, postal regulations allowed children to be mailed via parcel post with postage attached to their clothing. 23. The shortest war in history lasted 38 minutes. The Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896 began at 9 a.m. and was over by 9:38 a.m. 24. Napoleon was once attacked by thousands of rabbits. What was planned as a rabbit hunt backfired when the hungry animals charged toward him instead of running away. 25. Viking warriors used the skulls of their enemies as drinking vessels. This practice was part of their belief that drinking from an enemy's skull transferred their strength. 26. Romans used human urine as mouthwash. The ammonia in urine was effective at whitening teeth and freshening breath. 27. Pirates wore eye patches to help them see in the dark. By keeping one eye adjusted to darkness, they could quickly adapt when going below deck. 28. People were once paid to wake up others by shooting peas at their windows. Knocker-uppers in industrial Britain used pea shooters to wake factory workers before alarm clocks were common. 29. In 16th century Europe, tomatoes were believed to be poisonous. The acidic tomato would leach lead from pewter plates, causing lead poisoning. 30. Ancient Spartans were encouraged to steal food as children. It was part of their military training, but being caught resulted in severe punishment. Science and physics. 31. There's enough gold in Earth's core to coat the planet's surface in a 1.5-foot layer. Gravity pulled most of Earth's gold toward the core during formation. 32. Bananas are radioactive. They contain potassium, 40, a naturally occurring radioisotope, though the levels are harmless to humans. 33. A day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. Venus rotates so slowly that it takes 243 Earth days to complete one rotation, but only 225 Earth days to orbit the Sun. 34. Hot water freezes faster than cold water under certain conditions. Known as the Mpemba effect, this counterintuitive phenomenon remains not fully explained. 35. There are more possible iterations of a game of chess than there are atoms in the observable universe. There are approximately 10 to the power of 120 possible chess games versus 10 to the power of 80 atoms. 36. If you could fold a piece of paper 42 times, it would reach the moon. Due to exponential growth, the thickness doubles with each fold. 37. A teaspoonful of neutron star would weigh about 6 billion tons. Neutron stars are so dense that their matter is compressed to the extreme. 38. Glass is actually a liquid that flows extremely slowly. Ancient windows are often thicker at the bottom due to the glass flowing downward over centuries. 39. The human body contains enough carbon to create 9,000 pencils. The average adult body contains about 18% carbon by weight. 40. Contrary to popular belief, lightning can and does strike the same place twice. The Empire State Building is struck by lightning about 25 times per year. Food and drink. 41. The world's most expensive coffee beans are digested by cats. Kopi Luwak coffee beans pass through the digestive system of Asian palm civets before being collected and processed. 42. Lobsters were once considered prison food. In colonial America, lobsters were so abundant they were fed to prisoners and considered a sign of poverty. 43. Honey is bee vomit. Worker bees regurgitate nectar multiple times before it becomes honey, adding enzymes during each regurgitation. 44. The red food dicarmine is made from crushed beetles. Cochineal insects are harvested, dried, and crushed to produce this common food coloring. 45. Fruit flies were the first living creatures to be sent into space. They were sent aboard a V-2 rocket in 1947 to test the effects of radiation exposure at high altitudes. 46. Apples are more effective than caffeine at waking you up in the morning. The natural sugars, vitamins, and crisp texture stimulate the body more effectively than coffee. 47. Chocolate was once used as currency. Ancient Aztecs valued cacao beans so highly they were used as a form of money. 48. White chocolate isn't technically chocolate. It contains no cocoa solids, only cocoa butter, sugar, and milk solids. 49. The hottest part of chili pepper is the white membrane, not the seeds. The placental tissue contains the highest concentration of capsaicin. 50. Peanuts aren't nuts. They're legumes. They grow underground and are more closely related to beans and lentils than to true nuts. Technology in space. 51. The first computer bug was an actual bug. In 1947, a moth was found trapped in a Harvard Mark II computer, coining the term debugging. 52. The Apollo 11 mission's computer had less processing power than a modern calculator. It operated at 1.024 megahertz with 4 kilobytes of RAM. 53. More than 80% of the ocean is unmapped and unexplored. We know more about the surface of Mars than our own ocean floors. 54. The average cloud weighs around 1.1 million pounds. Despite appearing light and fluffy, clouds contain enormous amounts of water. 55. Saturn is so light it would float in water. Saturn's density is 0.687 g/cm superscript 3, while water is 1 g/cm superscript 3. 56. Space smells like seared steak. Astronauts report that the smell that clings to their suits after spacewalks resembles burnt meat. 57. One day on Mercury lasts approximately 2 Mercury years, due to its slow rotation and fast orbit around the Sun. 58. The Eiffel Tower grows about 6 inches taller in summer. Thermal expansion causes the iron structure to expand in hot weather. 59. The first item sold on eBay was a broken laser pointer. Pierre Omidyar sold it for $14.83 in 1995, launching what would become a billion-dollar company. 60. There are more possible iterations of Rubik's Cube than stars in the Milky Way. The cube has 43 quintillion, 252 quadrillion, 3 trillion, 274 billion, 489,856,000 possible configurations. Language and communication. 61. The longest word in English without a repeated letter is uncopyrightable. It has 15 letters, each used only once. 62. The word Q is just the letter Q followed by 4 silent letters. It's one of the few words where the pronunciation uses only the first letter. 63. A single sneeze can travel up to 100 mph. The expelled droplets can project several feet from your nose and mouth. 64. The dot over the letters I and J is called a tittle. This small linguistic feature has its own distinct name. 65. 11% of the world's population is left-handed. This ratio has remained relatively constant throughout human history. 66. Stewardesses is the longest word typed with only the left hand on a standard QWERTY keyboard. It contains 12 letters, all found on the left side. 67. The Hawaiian alphabet only has 12 letters. It consists of 7 consonants and 5 vowels, making it one of the world's shortest alphabets. 68. Dolphins have names for each other. They develop distinctive whistles to identify and call to specific individuals. 69. The word nerd was first coined by Dr. Seuss. It first appeared in his 1950 book, If I Ran the Zoo. 70. The voice of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse got married in real life. Wayne Allwine and Russi Taylor, who voiced the characters for decades, were married until Allwine's death in 2009. Art and entertainment. 71. The Mona Lisa has no eyebrows. It's believed that they were accidentally removed during a cleaning or they were never painted to begin with. 72. Shakespeare invented over 1,700 words, including eyeball, bedazzled, and swagger. 73. Vincent van Gogh only sold one painting during his lifetime. The Red Vineyard sold for 400 francs, equivalent to about $2,000 today, just months before his death. 74. The original Cinderella's slippers were made of fur, not glass. A translation error changed Pantoffel en verre, fur slipper, to Pantoffel en verre, glass slipper. 75. Nintendo was founded in 1889 as a playing card company. The gaming giant started by making handmade playing cards in Kyoto, Japan. 76. Michael Jackson patented a special shoe design. He invented and patented anti-gravity, shoes that created the illusion of leaning forward beyond natural balance for the Smooth Criminal music video. 77. The actors who played Mickey and Minnie Mouse got married in real life. Wayne Allwine and Russi Taylor, who voiced the characters for decades, were husband and wife. 78. The entire Lord of the Rings trilogy was filmed simultaneously. The 3 movies were shot in one continuous 438-day period in New Zealand. 79. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the invention of the iPhone than to the building of the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid was completed around 2560 BCE, while Cleopatra lived around 30 BCE. 80. The world's most expensive painting sold for $450.30 million. Leonardo da Vinci's Solvitor Mundi broke all records when sold in 2017. Weird laws and customs. 81. In Swaziland, it's illegal for women to wear pants. Traditional dress codes are enforced by law in some regions. 82. In France, it's illegal to name a pig Napoleon. This law protects the dignity of the former emperor. 83. In Thailand, it's illegal to step on money. Since the king's face appears on currency, stepping on it is considered disrespectful to the monarchy. 84. In Singapore, it's illegal to sell or import chewing gum. The law was implemented in 1992 to keep public spaces clean. 85. In Switzerland, it's illegal to flush the toilet after 10 p.m. In some apartment buildings, This noise restriction protects neighbors' sleep. 86. In Alabama, it's illegal to drive blindfolded. This seemingly obvious law had to be explicitly stated. 87. In Australia, it's illegal to wear hot pink pants after midday on Sunday. This outdated law from the Victorian era remains technically on the books. 88. In Scotland, if someone knocks on your door and needs to use the toilet, you must let them in. This is based on an ancient Scottish law of hospitality. 89. In Oklahoma, it's illegal to take a bite out of someone else's hamburger. This oddly specific law was enacted to prevent the spread of disease. 90. In British Parliament, it's illegal to die. The Palace of Westminster is technically a royal palace, and dying there would entitle the deceased to a state funeral. Miscellaneous. 91. Hippopotamonstroscoveliophobia is the fear of long words. Ironically, the name for this phobia is extraordinarily long. 92. Barbie's full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts. She was named after the creator's daughter and given a middle and last name in 1960. 93. Vending machines kill more people than sharks annually. Falling vending machines cause approximately 13 deaths per year in the U.S., compared to an average of 6 from shark attacks worldwide. 94. A group of pandas is called an embarrassment. This collective noun reflects their clumsy nature and difficulty breeding in captivity. 95. You are more likely to be killed by a champagne cork than by a poisonous spider. Cork-related injuries cause approximately 24 deaths annually worldwide. 96. The inventor of the Pringles can was buried in one at his request. Frederick Bauer was so proud of his design that some of his ashes were placed in a Pringles container upon his death in 2008. 97. Cows are best friends and get stressed when separated. Studies show that cattle form close bonds and show signs of anxiety when apart from their preferred companions. 98. A day on Pluto lasts 153 hours. Pluto rotates much more slowly than Earth, with each rotation taking over 6 Earth days. 99. An octopus has 3 hearts, 9 brains, and blue blood. They have a central brain and 8 additional mini-brains, 1 in each arm, while their blood contains copper-based hemocyanin instead of iron-based hemoglobin. 100. The first oranges weren't orange. Wild oranges were actually green. The orange variety was cultivated through selective breeding. Let me know what you found the best fact, and of which category you want more of. Like and subscribe.